expressed by the host or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboards, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bill in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk in the Street Sports, man. What's really, really good, man? Y'all know how we do it, streaming on multiple platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you know what I'm saying, Facebook. If you missed the live recordings, you can always catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms, you know what I'm saying? But I am DeeTrynt. This is Game Changer Sports Talk on in the Street Sports, man. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? But we talking NBA draft today. All right. I mean, it's like NBA draft, NBA trade rumors, NBA trades that's already been submitted. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they've been finalized all yet, but they definitely been submitted and accepted. It's a wild day. The 2023 NBA draft and its prospects. You know, when you get into that, you know, you had the audition of the NIL in the college. So it's like, I feel like now since the college students getting paid to play now, in a sense, and you know the world's so big, you know, you get you 100 followers, supporters. That's more than most. You get you 1,000. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the NIL definitely is helping weed out the talent too. So guys that felt like they might have had to go to the league just to earn a little money now can stay in college, finish their education, and still get some money, still playing the sport that they love. You know what I'm saying? Being an adult. And now the guys that's actually really got the talent that's just making a little money in college, but can really make big money playing in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Now you get to a point where NIL money started looking like NBA money, and not NBA money total contracts, but just like NBA money on the annual side. You know, you start seeing, you know, average NIL going like, you know, 15, 20 million, then you got to start reevaluating and spreading that money out. And, you know, just, you know, but we can get into that later. But what I brought that up to say, like, it's really weeding it out. So now with the new CBA coming into play, and it's like, basically, it's like this with the new CBA, right? You can still have 3 max guys. When you got 3 max guys, your bench gonna be like, literally like minimum veterans, draft picks that you got, that you drafted, you know, second round guys, undrafted, minimal guys, and you're really, you know, I feel like coaches really got to coach now. You're really going to have to develop that guy to play a role for you, because there is no, oh, we can manipulate the cap and get this guy. I don't know. I heard one announcer a couple of days ago mention that we might start seeing NFL type contracts in the NBA, and that don't even shock me. They're gonna be more incentive based. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get this guaranteed, but all the rest of this is incentive based for any type of example. I would go to the CP3 contract that he signed with Phoenix. The one that just got him traded to the Warriors. We'll talk about that in a second. That contract was basically, it was 128 million, but only like 90 of it was like guaranteed, and that was guaranteed to like the first 2.5 years. So like his contract right now, I don't even think got no guaranteed money on it. I think it's all incentive based. Now I ain't quote unquote all the way sure how it works in detail with that, but I do know it's one of those type of contracts that's fit the example of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You see the link in wherever you looking at, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You see the link, feel free to join, get up here. We can chop it up. You feel what I'm saying? You in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I can't see your comments, but the big homie see your comments, man, and he'll come up here and spit them out for us, let us know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the big homie for all he doing shit behind the scenes. But it's draft day, baby. And with the first pick this year in the draft, you got the San Antonio Spurs. These San Antonio Spurs, luck up on a generational big man again. And I say that to say, you know, the top
Hey,
prospect is
hey, bro, you seen the link I just
7'5"
posted?
Victor Wembanyama.
You hear me, bro?
Hold on, bro. Say what now?
No, I say you can hear me.
You know what I'm
Did you
saying?
see what I just posted? The
Ghana,
hit the link to join the convo.
France. He stands at 7'5", 220. He got like an 8-foot wingspan. A guy who really got guard like skills. He's just 7'5", and he ain't got kind of guard like skills. Like he got like real take you off the dribble through the legs, hit you with the cross, get in the paint, hit you with the spin move, and that 7'5", his spin move from the foul line is basically putting his hands near the basket when he stretch out. So it's it's going to be interesting how Greg Popovich, because he's the bona fide number one pick in this draft. Like there is no disputing that. You know what I'm saying? The Spurs won the lottery. They got this pick to draft this man. Again, like I started off saying, they luck up on another generational big man. They drafted David Robinson in the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? Then got uh, Tim Duncan in the late 90s. You know what I'm saying? Now in 2023, the early 220s, they get Victor Wembanyama. They already got a slate of people over there: Jeremy Sochan, Blake Wesley, the old State cat, Malachi Branham. Uh, they still got. I don't know. I think Doug McDermott is a free agent right now, but he might be on the last year of a deal or something like that. I ain't sure if it's a player or a team option. I think it's one of those scenarios. He may got two though. But anyway, they got a few players over there. I foresee a Victor playing the center. There's no way he could play anything else but the center. But he's going to be more of a mid-range guy in the beginning, I think. I think, spreading the floor with shooters, like the game is really going to help him because that's going to allow him to use his nimbleness to kind of get past and by guys and use his length to catch rebounds over guys. I don't see him being in the paint heavy. I think, being that franchise is used to having point guards who get in the paint and score in the paint, and power forwards who might do the same. I think, you can let Soshan do that, develop his post game or get another veteran guy down there to put down there with him. Some guys available. But whatever the case, though, Victor Wembanyama definitely going to the Spurs. Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time in the NBA, he's gonna do something with that, and we just gonna see how it turns out. Hopefully, it ain't a Chet Holmgren type situation. I hope. Yeah, I want to see him play his rookie season, but we'll get to that part of the conversation in a second. With the second pick, you got the Charlotte Hornets. Then you got Portland after that at 3. The Rockets at 4. Pistons at 5. You got Orlando at 6. Pacers at 7. Um, Wizards at 8. Jazz at 9. Mavericks at 10. Magic at 11. Um, OKC at 12. The Raptors at 13. And to close out the lottery, you got the Pelicans at 14. Um, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz. Man, I done did this, man. I ain't even, got my share on, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me do some of that right quick. Let's do some of that right quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I hadn't even did none of that one time. For the one time. Let's do that. Let's see if I can do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But this draft gonna be kind of lit, man, because now, they trying to see who gonna go number 2. Charlotte Hornets with the number 2 pick. They already have LaMelo Ball over there. They should be getting Mikal Bridges back. You'll see what's up with PJ Washington and his contract. I think he on last year his rookie deal or whatnot. They got Kai Jones over there, Terry Rozier, local guy from the land. Got him over there he's been over there for a few years. You got Gordon Hayward still over there. You got Bocamp from UConn that they got a couple years ago. So they got a couple guys over there. And you know what's talk is they're gonna take Scoot Henderson or they're going to, take Brandon Miller. That's the toss up. Number 1 is a shoe in with Victor, but at 2, Scoot Henderson been in number 2 all last couple years. But Brandon Miller really showed in college, even through adversity, that he can perform and do what he can and give his all. God has got like he definitely got it look from optics, it looks like a Paul George type of game. 6'9". Man, Brandon Miller, lightweight, dog. I ain't gonna even hold y'all, bro. Brandon Miller, he's 6'8", 200 pounds. Could take it off the dribble, play defense on all 3 levels when he gives up the efforts and wants to. Could jump like a kangaroo. Definitely can stroke the ball, can shoot off the dribble. I ain't really sure about how his post game is, but I feel like he's a prototype. You got LaMelo Ball there. You already got a nice scoring combo guard in Terry Rozier. You got Hayward. You got Mikal Bridges. I think they still got Kelly Oubre over there too, so maybe they can probably try to get a veteran. They definitely need a center though. I thought they would be a team to make a move for DeAndre Ayton. I feel like that'd be a smart move though, for them. I would recommend that they draft Brandon Miller and then trade for DeAndre Ayton and do it like that. You get Ayton over there with LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Mikal Bridges back, Terry Rozier. You know what I'm saying? And you still got some, like I said, you still got a couple young centers down there that that's been down there a couple years, probably could do something for you now. And plus Jordan just sold the team. Jordan, shout out to Jordan for the crazy flip though. I don't care what y'all talking about, right? Even if he did run the franchise horribly, right? Even if they feel like, he was a great basketball player, but he wasn't a great owner. He just turned $275 million into $3 billion. I don't care who you is. Salute that man. Because guess what? If you want to go into group ownership in a few years and get back in it, ain't nobody going to trip, especially if he don't want to be majority owner. He just want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? He just sat back, learn. Like, hey, but Jordan like 60. Get your money and chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just leave it at that, because if I change the conversation in any type of way, it'd be like it's getting personal. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. So, but now you get to number 3, right? And in my opinion, the draft starts at 3. Well, most will argue the draft starts at 2 because you don't know who For sure. Who Charlotte gonna take? Now I wouldn't be shocked if Charlotte took Scoot Henderson because I feel like you put Scoot with LaMelo in the backcourt. Um, and I guess you gonna bring Scoot off the bench for now and start Terry Rozier. LaMelo could play the two. You give Mikal Bridges back at the three. You got Gordon Hayward, so you probably gonna start him or bring him off the bench. You probably gonna come off the bench. You bring back PJ Washington, but that's why I say they should make this for Mikal Bridges because I feel like for DeAndre Ayton. Speaking of Charlotte, before I continue with Portland, I know that started, but Charlotte, they could offer Gordon Hayward's contract. You know what I'm saying? They listen. Gordon Hayward on like year 3, or maybe he might be even on the last year of that deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like 30 million. It's like 4 years over 120 over 4 years. And I want to say he signed it in 21. So we going into the 23, 24 season. I want to say he on the 3rd year of that deal. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got all my tools to be looking it up, but just off top of the head, I feel like he on the 3rd year of that deal. So, if he go over there and you put him with Bill, Durant, you know what I'm saying, and Devin Booker. I'm sorry, Booker. And Devin Booker though. Then I feel like that's a better fit than Ayton because you could bring in young guys that you just need to rebound, play defense, and score off. You know what I'm saying? Like and I know I transitioned to Phoenix a little bit, but I'm just thinking like, on this trade for that Charlotte could do. You know what I'm saying? You could add a future first or something. That ain't gonna hurt Charlotte. Add a future first, like 27 or 28 or something. You feel me? Somewhere when they get to the end of them contracts or something. You feel me? Get you DeAndre Ayton, you put Hayward in the deal. You probably could put Bo Cap or something in the deal, or you may want to keep him. I don't think you could put Terry Rozier in the deal because his contract like 17 million, and that'd be one of them like loophole contracts that are really restrict them from doing something. But they don't got a point guard. So if you put for what DeAndre Ayton making, he getting a max. He getting like 4 years, 133 million. So it's like what, like 30, 30, 35, 30, 33, like 33 million a year. Gordon Hayward getting 30 million a year, so their contracts already kind of even up. You know what I'm saying? They throw in like one of the young rookie contracts, you feel me? That's why I say like Bo Count. You know what I'm saying? They throw him in there, boom, that contract solidified with a 1st round pick or maybe a couple 1st round picks. You get DeAndre Ayton. And then that just fit. Like I say, that'll fit with them though. They get some young guys over there, like a young guy. You know what I'm saying? They get a couple picks back, you feel me, to help their team. They could probably use those picks and trade it for somewhere else, you feel me? Aiden ain't gonna fit over there, bro. All them 3 gonna need the ball, and they gonna need somebody that's gonna come off of them in Phoenix and be able to score when they not scoring. And I feel like that's a good role for Gordon Hayward. You know what I'm saying? You get him over there with a little Bo Count, you feel me? And that guy can score and put up buckets. So now you get him a little young guy that can learn up under all them scores. And then you just fill your roster out with minimum guys who could, play defense, you know what I'm saying, facilitate, you know what I'm saying, 3-and-D guys you can develop and do it like that. You feel me? Charlotte, on the other hand, like I say, I know I spent a lot of time on them right now, but just this idea, I just like it though. Like I say, you draft Brandon Miller, you know what I'm saying? Now you got, Rozier, Melo, Bridges, Miller, and Ayton. You know what I'm saying? And you still got PJ Washington. You figure out what you're gonna do with Kelly Oubre. You feel me? Like I feel like Charlotte look more like they trying to make the playoffs with a team like that. You know what I'm saying? If they do it like that. But really the talk of the town is Portland at 3 with Dame Lillard after what Charlotte do. You know what I'm saying? Again, if Charlotte takes Scoot Henderson, him and Melo will be fire. You know what I'm saying? And they, like I say, they can still make the trade for Aiden regardless, and you have them two with Aiden and they might like that combo better. You know what I'm saying? If Brandon Miller falls to Dame at 3, though, I wonder, does that change the dynamic for Dame and having young guys? Because a guy like Brandon Miller would actually flourish on the team that they have right now, right? You bring him, um, you could still bring Simons off the bench, start Shaden Sharp, because he gonna play defense. You get Brandon Miller on that wing. I'm not a Nurkic fan, but for some reason people like what he do over there. I don't know about Jeremy Grant though, but Brandon Miller is somebody exciting. And if he fall to Portland, that'd be crazy fire. But they most likely gonna end up with the dilemma of the universe, and they're gonna be forced to make a move. They either gonna trade that number 3 pick, and it's a lot of people calling for that 3 pick, But in my opinion, nobody wants to go live in Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really the whole thing. Like nobody wants to go live in Oregon. So they not about to pay buku resources to basically um, trade or no player is going to want to accept a trade, even if the team is getting back buku resources to go to play in Oregon. And that's no knock on Dame. I don't even think that's a knock on the organization. It's just that it's Oregon, bro. Like that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't a place we think that, with our money to go settle in. And I mean, I heard Oregon is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mountain fan, so they got mountains, they got, green pastures, and they get snow and all that. Like that's, you feel me? I ain't never been, but that's just a small market people don't want to go to. So I'm saying that to lead to I think teams are going to halfway force Portland to trade Dame. You know what I'm saying? Dame saying he don't want it, but Dame and he already said he'd go to Miami. So I think, especially with how these trades shaping out now, like we ain't even talked about, the trade specifically that's to happen. I just mentioned, what the new rosters to look like or whatever. But I think they're gonna try to force Portland to trade Dame. You know what I'm saying? And it's a chance that it could happen tonight. I mean, I think it's a 30%, 35% chance, like 1 in 3 chance. I think it's a 1 in 3 chance. Like I think it's that possible. You know what I'm saying? Not highly likely, but more than possible. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what he can get though, right? Because Nurkic make a nice little piece of change. I think he make around 20 million. I want to say his number is 17. And then Jeremy Grant looking for 30 million a year, which I just don't personally think his impact on winning is worth 30 million a year to go along with his skill set. Like I don't think, 20. I'm skeptical on 2025 because I just don't feel like his play impacts winning. I think he's just he has to be like the third guy. Like for his money to show, he got to be the third guy. You feel what I'm saying? In my opinion, like that's just, I don't know if he could be the second guy on the championship team. I think he could thrive at growing in the third guy's role. And right now, Portland need him to be a 2, and he ain't really a second. Brandon Miller could be a second or a 1. You know what I'm saying? So him with Shaden Sharp would just give him a bright future, period. Just on the wings with that type of talent. Anthony Simons, but I guess Portland, we gonna see what Portland gonna do. It depends on, I guess, who fall to them at 3. And then you get to Detroit, right? And from this point forward, for real, like Detroit is kind of like a real toss up, right? Detroit already got buku young players, right? And you know them like Portland, kind of like the Raptors too. A lot of these teams, you know, is trying to win. A lot of these teams then already collected a lot of young players. They got a few vets sprinkled in. They still got draft capital, so they probably just looking like, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I might could make these and make some moves because of how the new CBA kicking in. People gotta basically accept what they can get and don't get caught. You feel me on the back end trying to. You feel me? So I feel like Detroit may be a team that trades out of that fourth pick. To be perfectly honest, um, I don't think they're gonna be the first trade of the night. Um, you know, they talked about Charlotte trading or Portland trading for Zion or Brandon Ingram, right? That was something that came up. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or DeeTrynt. Um, and if you missed the live recordings here, you can definitely catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. And, you know, once you go in there, like, subscribe, share, you know what I'm saying? You find a Game Changer Sports Talk show. You like, subscribe, share on that too. Um, you know, so, you know, Zion or Brandon Ingram getting moved is interesting. Because um, I feel like Brandon Ingram needs a fresh place. Now, if Portland, which is a trade I would favor, if Portland could trade the 3 and get like Brandon Ingram, if they can trade the 3 and Nurkic, you know what I'm saying? If it's a three team trade or not. But I think just for them, the 3 and Nurkic and get Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas, I think that fit way better with Dame. You get Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas over there. Maybe you get them to throw in like a Herb, or maybe they throw in a couple picks. You feel me? They probably throw in because Brandon Ingram raw, so they could probably still get like a first round or 2 seconds or something, maybe a first and a pick, an additional and a pick swap. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But yeah, no, Portland, they give up the 3 and Nurkic, get back Valanciunas, Brandon Ingram, you know what I'm saying? Couple picks. Shit. I think that's fire for Portland. Ingram and Valanciunas definitely gonna bring you defense and some scoring. You feel me? Guys who've been in the league, who know how to win, has been in the playoffs, then you know what I'm saying? And Brandon Ingram's still young, so that's cool. You feel me? He'll get a chance to really flourish on this offensive side with Dame. You know what I'm saying? You still got Shane Sharp down there. You bring back Cam Reddish, you feel me? Now I don't know about Jeremy Grant unless he don't come off the bench. You feel me? But you know, or maybe Jeremy Grant might fit better with Valanciunas because Valanciunas gonna rebound. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna stretch the floor on the corners with the 3 ball. You feel me? So set good screens. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Jeremy Grant played better off that. I don't know about that 30 million a year though. But Brandon Ingram down there, Shaden Sharp, I think that's the best combination to trade. I don't like Nurkic, so you trade him, get him on up out of there. I don't think Charlotte gonna trade at all. The Rockets, I skipped one because I said Detroit. The Rockets are at 4. This is the most underrated black horse or dark horse. I said black horse, dark horse thing about the draft tonight is the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets sit with a team, right? Hold on, let me just go to the Rockets for y'all right quick. I want y'all to just understand why this is so interesting to me, where Houston stands, right? Because there's talks that James Harden want to come back there. There's also talks that they might make a run at Jaylen Brown. Now, let me set the tone right quick with something I ain't talked about. The first big trade that's didn't happen in the last 36 hours, 40 hours. I don't think it's been a whole 2 days. Washington, Boston, Memphis, they make a 3-team trade. Boston gets Kristaps Porzingis and 2 future first-round picks. The Washington Wizards get Tyus Jones, and Memphis gets Marcus Smart. All right. So now let's just start with Boston. Boston, oh, I'm sorry. That's not how fully that trade went. Memphis get Marcus Smart and a future second-round pick. It may be even the second-round pick in this draft. I got to double-check that. And then Washington also gets Mike Muscala, a future second-round pick, and another name that I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But so transition off that, let's talk Boston. Boston now has, and I'm using, I had to set the tone because I'm getting to Boston for a point to go back to where I originally at. All right. So Boston now has Kristaps Porzingis. And why is this important to me? Because I've been saying for the last 4 seasons that that Boston's big 3 has to be a stretch 4, a stretch big man. All right. I was saying Karl-Anthony Towns at first, but now you get the unicorn. Kristaps Porzingis played the majority of last season, and he was very productive. I'm pretty sure he was the number 2 option. Over here, he'd be the number 3 option, but the number 1 big man option. He could play the 5. You can let Robert Williams play the 4, even though he's going to play more in the paint, and Kristaps going to be bringing the 5s out from the paint. That'll give Tatum and Brown more driving lanes. They can go with Peyton Pritchard now, who is really grown over there in the last 2 or 3 seasons he's been with them. I know he's ready for a bigger role. But him playing the starting point guard for them, or the backup point guard, because they still got Derek White, and Derek White's ability to play both ends helps make up for what they lost with Marcus Smart. Now, initially, the deal was supposed to have Malcolm Brogdon going to the Clippers as being the 3rd team instead of the Lakers. Instead of the instead of Memphis, where Marcus Smart eventually went. At first, it was going to be Malcolm Brogdon going to the Clippers in this deal. Between Boston and Washington. And the Clippers backed out because I don't know what the issue is with Malcolm Brogdon's knee, but he has some type of injury concern that made LA back off. And Malcolm Brogdon, I think, is on the last year or the last 2 years of a 5-year, $85 million deal he signed back when he was in his last year with Milwaukee. So, like I say, a lot of teams is making these moves now. Keep in mind, the new CBA kick in. It don't allow you to pay all that little extra money to little veteran sideline guy. So your big money got to go to the people who matter on the team, and then you got to have, little guys for whatever the case. But Boston, by adding Kristaps Porzingis and still getting a couple first-round picks just in case Porzingis don't resign, because he had to pick up his $36 million option to make the trade work financially and things like that. Marcus Smart had just signed like a 4-year, $77 million deal or something, so his contract was pretty high. They add Danilo Gallinari in that trade. That's who the other guy was. Gallinari goes to Washington. And Danilo Gallinari has signed like a 2-year, $16 million deal or something like that, but end up tearing his knee up last year before he could even play for Boston. So that's unfortunate for him. He's now with Washington, who's rebuilding, and ain't no telling how that's gonna go. But you know, by them getting that stretch five, and then having the pieces in play to really deal with that, speaking on Boston, that really just set the tone for the whole offseason. Because Boston was in the finals. They've been in the conference finals multiple years. They're clearly not giving up on Tatum and Brown unless something magical happens and it becomes just Tatum's team, which is more likely to happen than them trading Tatum. Um, so, that big three right there with Robert Williams and Derek White makes them one of the top title contenders in the league right now. Flat out. I don't care. Even with the Nuggets team, the ability for Kristaps Porzingis to put up numbers on Jokic, have Robert Williams playing defense down there and out and battle rebounds against Aaron Gordon, and then you just Tatum and Brown and Derek White versus KCP, MJP and Jamal Murray. That's formidable. Brogdon coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying, praying pressure. Like that's, now you bring Al Horford off the bench if he's gonna play another year. Like that's formidable though. Like, so I'm saying like that set a precedent. That let it know. Then you had which preceded this trade was the Bradley Beal trade. That sent Bradley Beal to Phoenix. Phoenix gets back. I mean, the Wizards. Wizards trade guard Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns in return for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and like 3 picks. I think it's 2 future firsts. No, it's like 5 picks. It's like 3 pick swaps and a couple. It's like three or 4 pick swaps, or 2 to 3 pick swaps, and then a couple just outright picks, which I think is second rounders. So they gonna be pick swapping with them until like 2030 or something, somewhere along that 2029 or something. Whatever the case though, that was the first domino that fell, and then now the Porzingis trade. We all know with Memphis, going back to the Porzingis trade, we all know Memphis had problems with John Morant. John Morant, unfortunately, was seen on his homeboy's IG live what seems to be brandishing a firearm after he just had an episode about it, you know what I'm saying, weeks in advance, before the playoffs even started, with the same issue with a young man and all that craziness. So Adam Silver came out and basically gave him 25 games. So he's out for 25 games. They already lost Dylan Brooks, who they said they will not be bringing back. So basically, two of their starting 3 wings is unavailable or not on the team. You bring in Marcus Smart, a guy who's a leader, who's going to be a good leader, and a guy who gets a chance to lead his own team. I don't think he is the uh, uh, facilitator. I don't think he's the top tier passer a point guard should be. I think he can do it. I just don't think he was asked to do that in Boston. I think he can though. But he gets to go over there with a young team that he can help take to the mountaintop in the tough West. And I feel like because Memphis has had Tony Allen and he's a cherished gem over there in their history, I think they'll appreciate a Marcus Smart, especially the impact he's probably going to have on John Morant, and Desmond Bain. Brandon Clark will be coming back. Washington, look, everybody asks what Washington doing. Just to finish off talking about that trade, then I'm gonna get back to the Rockets and what I think they're gonna do and why they the dark horse. Washington is just dumping salary, man. They dumping cap. You know what I'm saying? 30 minutes till draft time too. NBA draft on ESPN. You can watch it on the app. ESPN Plus probably gonna have it. Wherever your local cable station is for ESPN, they'll have it. ESPN Deportes will probably have it. There's probably multiple others around the world because basketball is a global sport for the way it's played American style. So, you know, you can catch it just about anywhere, but it just started up at 8 o'clock, so make sure y'all check that out. Um, but Washington is dumping, right? Washington, you know, wanted to rebuild. They had a bunch of contracts that they knew people wasn't just gonna outright just take and give up a lot of resources for, but they do have players that people would like. So in saying that, oh yeah, I forgot to do that this whole time. So in saying that, you know, they have a chance to rebuild, still collect minimum contracts and veteran players while they do their rebuild and pick some guys to rebuild around. Now, in saying that, the move they made earlier today is they traded Chris Paul to that's the Washington Wizards after acquiring Chris Paul in a 3-team trade that sent Bradley Beal. I mean, in a 2-team trade that sent Bradley Beal to Phoenix. They trade Chris Paul, which I don't know. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know if everything's been finalized, but it's definitely been submitted and approved by league standards. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just turns into a 3-team trade. And Chris Paul goes to the Warriors. Warriors send back Jordan Poole and 2 first-round picks. One in 2030, top 20 protected, and one in 2027, I believe. So now Washington has Jordan Poole. They got Johnny Davis. They got Danny Avdija. They got Corey Kispert. They got Daniel Gafford still. You figure, okay, these sound like nice role players. Who are you building a team around? Now, by trading Porzingis, trading Rui Hachimura earlier in the year, getting second-round picks and Kendrick Nunn, by getting off Porzingis' contract and his $36 million a year. And now, mind you, Bradley Beal contract was like 5 years, $250 million. So he making like $50 million a year, basically. All right. So I'm like, okay, they made the trade for Jordan Poole. You think, do they like Kyle Kuzma? Is that where Washington is? If they say, let me pay Kuzma, I don't know if Kuzma gonna get $30 million a year, but the fact that Kuzma is still young, he's won a championship, been to the finals, proven to be a main contributor on a championship winning team as a young guy. He's like 6'8", like 200 pounds. I think he might be like 215 even. Can stretch the floor, can score, can play defense. You know what I'm saying? So if a team wanted to take a shot at Kyle Kuzma, I wouldn't be surprised if a team gave him $30 million a year. I wouldn't be surprised if a team said, okay, let me put Kuzma with Jordan Poole. That's lightweight gas at your 2 and 3. Because Jordan Poole could play the 1, but he gonna be a shooter. So you're gonna probably need a point guard that's gonna facilitate. Now they got Tyus Jones in the 3-team trade for Porzingis. So you can start Tyus Jones at the 1, put Jordan Poole at the 2, because Tyus can actually run a defense. Run a team from the point guard. You feel me? So you put Tyus Jones down there. You got Jordan Poole. You bring back Kuzma. You got Daniel Gafford to play center. Now you're saying, okay, who I get at the 4, right? And once again, by Washington trading all them big contracts, now they got money. Now in the NBA CBA from a couple years prior, NBA teams have to spend so much money. So they can't just like dump all their players and then just sit with low teams. No. They got to have at least 1 or 2 cats on their team making some significant money. Right? So I think they got to have at least like one guy making at least $30 million and at least two more guys making, 20, or one making at least 20, another one making at least 15, over 17, some shit like that. You feel me? Or they could just have like two 25 plus million per guys, and that's cool too, or some shit like that. However the case though, you know, so they got Jordan Poole's contract. Speaking of Washington, you get Kyle Kuzma. I don't know. I mean, could they make a play for Miles Turner? You know what I'm saying? Could they be the ones to get Jeremy Grant? Right? They gonna have some type of cat room because Danny Avija and all them other guys ain't making no significant money. Monte Morris over there, but he gonna be a point guard, and he gonna be a good point guard for them too. That keeps Jordan Poole from playing the point. Because Jordan Poole got to show now that he could be more than just a 3-point shooter. Jordan Poole is going to have to show that he can be a number one or number two guy on a winning team to earn another contract. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get his game exposed for sure. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man, talking NBA draft, NBA trades, catching up on the latest NBA action and transactions. Streaming from multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Wherever you streaming from or wherever you viewing from, you can see the link. So you can hit the link, come up. You know what I'm saying? You want to join, we can chop it up. You feel me? Tell me what you think. If you got some comments dropping in, bro, read the comments off of me, you feel me? And you know what I'm saying, I'll give my feedback on that. But if you missed the live streamings, you can definitely catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, various other streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Just subscribe to the Industry Sports channel, and then you will see the Game Changer Sports Talk Show with me, DeeTrynt. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like and subscribe to that too. Now, I did all that, right? And again, Washington can get a four some type of way. Maybe they even may make a trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. And now you're sitting there with a team of Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, and Karl-Anthony Towns in the East, all guys that can shoot, with Tyus Jones and Monte Morris, Corey Kispert coming off the bench, Daniel Gafford. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of different things that can happen. And why this don't look crazy for Washington, because Washington is a team that hasn't done nothing over the years, even though they had a job. They had a Paul Pierce at one time. They had Bradley Beal. They had quite a few guys. Otto Porter Jr. They've had a couple guys. Unfortunately, they got to rebuild now. So them having, making it seem like they going forward now, whoever they choose to do it with, and just think about it. Jordan Poole didn't won a championship. Kyle Kuzma didn't won a championship, and they both young. So wanting to been around those two guys is not dumb. They both stretch the floor already. You feel me? So acquiring guys that can get it to the paint, which made me open it up for Danny Avija, or Denny. I'm sorry, Denny Avija. You know what I'm saying? Gafford gonna board, you know what I'm saying? So he have a lot of chance to build up as a shot blocker or rebounder. A lot of different things can happen. Now, to these Rockets at the number 4 pick. The Rockets have a roster of, and I don't know what the contract situation with all these guys is, but I'm just gonna run off these names. DJ Augustine, Willie Cauley-Stein, Josh Christopher, Darius Days, Tari Eason, Usman Garuba, Jalen Green, Trevor Hudgens, Frank Kaminsky, Boban Marjanovic, Kenyon Martin Jr., Deshaun Nix, Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Sengun. I'll probably slaughter his name, and I'm so sorry. Sengun, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., Jayshawn Tate, and Ty Washington. Now, as far as young teams and young guys and shit like that, hold on. Now, as far as young guys and shit like that, they got that. You know what I'm saying? Portland has, the Rockets have a bunch of young talent. But now they got to figure out who they're going to build around. And this new CBA, I feel like is definitely going to has opened up for 4 more teams to get added to the NBA. Ultimately, I think it's gonna be 6, but they about to add at least 4 in the next like 5 to 7 years, in my opinion, for sure. They got to add 2 at a time. So I think it might be like a 4-year separation, and they're gonna add 2 teams. They might even do it in back-to-back years, just because they want to shorten the season. So if you want to shorten the season, which is cool, but you got to add more teams so teams don't get played. Because I understand there's 30 teams, but you got to understand like that's only 15 on this side and 15 on that side. So when you got 82 games, like you're going to play the same team 2, 3 times. Like it should get repetitive and get boring. You know what I'm saying? But if you add 4 more teams now, you know what I'm saying, or even 6 more teams, which is basically one to every division. Now you got 6 teams per division. You got 36 teams. You know, if you want to go to 70 games, it don't matter because you're going to play the whole league at least twice. And then when you get to the playoffs, you know, now the playoffs may get expanded. You know what I'm saying? It may not just be 16 teams in the playoffs now. It may be, well, they already did it. It's 20 now because they got the play-in. So you got the top 6, and then you got 4 more teams that actually, but maybe their play-in get extended now, and the play-in becomes a series. You know, maybe that's the way they bring back 3-game series. You know what I'm saying? And the play-in becomes rounds because now you shorten the season to like 70 games. You can use that to make up the 12 games as far as money, contracts, and TV media, things like that. You feel what I'm saying? To help carry out the end of April and into May. You know what I'm saying? And that may be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Tournament time, it'll be something that'll happen right after March Madness end. I mean, so that'd be cool. You'd be like, oh, March Madness in a tournament for the championship, and then, um, you know, basketball break into their tournament to get into the playoffs. That's kind of fire. Like you feel me? And then you get the playoffs, and you know the playoffs is all seven games. So you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that, you know, Houston still got a lot of picks. They got young players. They have players that people will want. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about Houston, you know, and they got Ime Udoka over there. So the thing may be, you know, do they want to build around Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr.? And what positions do they play? Are they playing the 2 and 3? Are they playing the 1 and 2? I think ultimately because them guys can score, they should play the 2 and 3. I don't know if Jalen Green big enough to play the 3, but I think he could grow into it. I don't know. You know, you got Jabari Smith down there. You got Tari Eason. You got Josh Christopher. A lot of these young guys could go somewhere else and be of value, and you can get you back a vet. So it's really about what Houston wants to do. But I think Houston gonna trade this pick, and I think Houston gonna get something nice. If I had to throw a name out there, right? Um, that just sounds like a place Carl Anthony Towns would go to, right? And it'd be crazy if you get Carl Anthony Towns and then James Harden decide he want to go ahead and go to Houston. I want to say I read a report that he picked up his option though with Philly. So, you know, he might be staying there. I ain't sure yet. I gotta get some confirmation on that. But Houston at this number 4, man, they definitely can like really like change the whole landscape of the draft. You know, whatever Portland decide to do is kind of like a necessary thing. Charlotte picking a draft pick to go with their draft pick is a necessary thing just for that franchise and its history. Um, so you know the draft really gonna get popping at 4. You know, what does the Rockets do? Um, you know, like I say, they could get a Carl Anthony Towns. You know, maybe they do something crazy and maybe they get Miles Turner. Um, uh, you know, maybe it's something different. You know, maybe they trade for DeAndre Ayton. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe not. Maybe it's something different. Maybe, the Nuggets, they just won a championship, but the Nuggets gotta get up under the cap too. They already paying 3 players. They playing MJP. Michael Porter Jr. for those that don't know MJP. They playing Jamal Murray and they playing Joker to Jokic. You know what I'm saying? So guys like Aaron Gordon and Contavious Caldwell Pope, who just got his second ring. Gordon just got his first ring. They still relatively young guys. Maybe they get moved. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Houston get in somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could be both of those guys. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can see a world where, um, Houston goes, hold on, like, quick. Yeah, no. So, you can see, I can see a world where, okay, Kevin Porter played a 1, Jalen Green played a 2, Caldwell Pope played a 3, Aaron Gordon played a 4. You know what I'm saying? And then they got Songun at the 5, and then they rotated in Jabari Smith, and you know what I'm saying, and Josh Christopher. Like, I could see him trying to do it like that. You feel me? But Houston probably gonna want a big name though. They gonna want a shark. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get in this water and get one. Um, yeah, they probably gonna want a shark. So, I don't know about James Harden going back there. I don't like that. I do like the idea of them um trading for Jaylen Brown though. I'm not gonna hold you. I totally like the idea of Houston trading for Jaylen Brown and giving him the 295 million. I'm totally all on board for that. Now, they like, why would they do that? And they just put that big 3 together, and I feel you. But I don't know if Boston want to pay Jaylen 295 million. Because that means when Tatum come up on his next contract, they're paying him 300 million. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's how that's gonna work. I don't know if they about to start making the years longer, where you can go past 5 and you can do like 6 and 7 now if you're gonna be giving a guy 300 million, so it average out on the cap better. But yeah, dog. Um, so I see, I like to see that. I would like to see Houston. I would like to see Jaylen Brown in Houston, and Houston build around Jaylen Brown. Um, Especially if you put Jaylen Brown and they keep Porter and Green in the process. Jaylen Brown playing the 3, Porter and Green at the 1 and 2. That's fire. Even if you keep Jabari Smith at the 4 and play Sagan, that's still fire. Just because I think Jaylen Brown is that raw of a talent. And then he got 2 guys over there that can really dribble, so he probably don't gotta do that much dribbling. Or his game gonna get up playing them guys in practice or anything. Um, but he's also a guy that can lead. You know what I'm saying? A guy who's mild mannered. You know what I'm saying? Plays both sides of the ball. You feel me? Maybe a guy that have a good impact on Kevin Porter Jr. They would probably still need a big man though, but you could definitely make those moves. Now, again, this goes for Detroit at 5 too. Detroit got Jay Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman, Jalen Duran, Killian Hayes. Like, bruh, they don't need no more young cats. And they got Bogdan. They got big bro Bogdanovich. All right. So to be honest, Detroit probably should trade this pick for a veteran too. I would say a veteran point guard. As crazy as this sounds, if they can get Russell Westbrook to go over there, that might be nice for him. I ain't gonna hold you. As much as I don't want to see him in my division, for Westbrook, that might be raw to him. You know what I'm saying? But they bring in a veteran point guard, somebody who can run the show, allow Jaden to play the 2 and Cunningham to play the 3 since they traded Sadiq Bey. You got Wiseman to play the 5. I really more like Bagley playing the 4, but Jalen Durant really fit the mold. They also got Isaiah Stewart over there. Most people know Isaiah Stewart from the incident he had with LeBron, where his eye got gashed and he made the, Herculean charge at him or whatever. But they do got him over there. But I like Jalen Duran more because he's gonna be a shot blocker, a rebounder, and guy who can run the floor. And James Wiseman is really the guy with the offensive skill set. I ain't saying Jalen Duran don't have no offensive skill set, but I don't think right now in his career he has as much as James Wiseman brings to the table right now. So you get a guy in there. What's really good, Blue? How you feeling, bro? I can't see the comments. It's up. Oh, I ain't know I can see the comments. It's up. So, but yeah, though. So I like with them. I think they should bring in some type of veteran talent. It's gonna be definitely interesting to see what Detroit does at 5. I get in one more, and then also I didn't say Chris Middleton declined his $40 million a year option for last year, his contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Middleton is now a free agent. Maybe Chris Middleton goes to Washington, or maybe he goes to Houston. Outright, right? You get him in Houston, that's crazy, right? He could legitimately play the 3 over there. You know what I'm saying? And his game fit what they doing over there too, though. Like, right? Maybe you get him outright and you trade for Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's probably some other cats out here worth being traded. I just can't think of them at the top of my head. Not on the big man side. I mean, Miles Turner. They could trade for Miles Turner, right? You can get Chris Middleton outright. Speaking on Houston, they can just sign him outright and then trade for Miles Turner, right? Miles Turner could come play the 5. They could put Sagun and Jabari Smith at the 4. Houston got a nice little squad now. You know what I'm saying? They may have to pay with a young player or two, maybe Tari Eason, maybe Josh Christopher. But they could do something, man. There's definitely some possibilities out here. And at number 6 is the Orlando Magic. Now the Magic got a whole bunch of young talent: Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Morris Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., Markelle Fultz. So they're really just looking to see like what they're going to do. And I can see them trading this pick too, though. You know what I'm saying? Now it's 6 minutes before the draft, so I ain't gonna hold y'all up. You feel we gonna go for about 4 more minutes? Nah, I'm lying. Cause I ain't talked about the Cavs. And I'll be damned if I get out of here before I talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even hold y'all on that. You feel me? I love my team. I done gave everybody else in the NBA all this airtime. I gotta give my Cavs some airtime. Yeah, I'm outside in the street sports. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, in the street sports. Y'all know how we do. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? You see the link in the chat wherever you viewing from. So definitely feel free to hit that, speak your piece, drop a comment. I can see them up here, so drop a comment, especially if you're on YouTube. Um, I think the Magic need to figure out who they're building around. Clearly, it's Banchero. So if it's Banchero and Franz Wagner at the 3 and 4, then who's your backcourt? If you're saying you're going to run with Markelle Fultz, then who's your center? Wendell Carter Jr. So I think they just about getting the 2. Now, that's a team that could probably trade for a Jaylen Brown or trade for I was gonna say Jimmy Butler, but nah. Definitely not a Damian Lillard because I don't think he's gonna accept that. But they need a 2. They need a cat that can score the ball for them at that 2 position. So it's gonna be interesting what they do. I think they trade this pick. I think definitely Washington at 8 and the Pacers at 7. They're gonna pick theirs. Even though the Pacers could trade it too. But I think they most likely might try to trade Buddy Yield or Miles Turner. And I would talk about Toronto, but they too far down the list for me to care. Um, Utah at 9, Dallas at 10. Got way more interesting things to talk about, but I've been on here for an hour and I ain't talked about the Cavs yet. So this Cavs time right here for me. Now these Cavaliers, right? Let me tell you something about these Cavaliers. Okay, these cats coming off a 51 win season. These guys have um exceeded a lot of expectations, right? Because nobody thought that the Cavs would be this formidable this fast, per se. And I say formidable because they've had the number 1 defense in the league. The Magic have tons of talent. Monte, what's good, bro? Monte say the Magic have tons of talent. With their talent, do they need a new direction with their coaching, in your opinion? So I don't know who they coach over there. I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you I do know. I will say this though. They need to figure out who they're building around. Because like I've been saying about this new CBA, you know what I'm saying, it's really putting a stranglehold on people finessing the cap, especially if they're gonna be paying they stars this top money. So by them putting a stranglehold on them finessing the cap, I feel like they gotta just choose. They ain't paid nobody yet. So if you saying you got Banchero and Franz Wagner, and you got Markelle Fultz, you're saying, okay, I'm saying they need a 2. A bona fide top tier scorer in this league. If they was a team that called the Cavs and say, hey, we trying to get Donovan Mitchell, I ain't gonna lie. If it's Orlando calling, I might think about it. I can probably get like Jalen Suggs. I could probably get Bo and a pick and like 2-3 picks. Probably y'all this year pick. I ain't gonna lie. I consider it. I ain't saying I do it. I'm just saying I consider it. But they could, like I said, they could go after Jaylen Brown. They could be the team that gets Chris Middleton. You get Chris Middleton over there playing it too. Maybe good things happen for them. Maybe they go after something a little more daring. Speaking on a little more daring though, I mean, could they make a call? Well, it was rumored that they were in talks to make a trade with the Raptors, I think. Something involving Jalen Suggs. And I'm pretty sure the Magic want to get off Jonathan Isaac's contract, who hasn't played at all. And I don't know. He pulling the Grant Hill. That's so crazy. Yeah. I don't even know how good he is. Hold on. But like I said, maybe they could trade for Jalen. Maybe. I don't know, man. Maybe they try to make a move for Kyrie. Um, I'm trying to think of other maybe Orlando makes a move for Trae Young, right? Let's say that, right? Let's say they say, okay, we go get Trae Young, right? We give up a Jalen Suggs. We might have to give up a Cole Anthony, couple first round picks, right? And you get you get Trae Young. Now you put Trae Young over there in Florida with his own team. You feel me? And now he got Markel Fultz, who you can actually have him play kind of the two because he's a good defender. Then you got Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter. I don't think that would be a bad move because Trae Young is a name that might get moved in this draft. You know what I'm saying? That ain't out of the question. I know people they kind of forgot about it, but he could. I seen a report that said Atlanta got Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, all on the trading block. So maybe those is guys, those might be guys that people might want to take a chance on and say, okay, I think this guy could evolve into what we seen Mikal Bridges do. Speaking on Mikal Bridges with the Nets. Speaking on Mikal, it was reported that the Nets don't even want to move on from him. They have no intentions on trading him whatsoever. So we'll see how they build around that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be interesting. But maybe they go for a Hunter. Maybe they want to put Hunter with Mikal. Hunter could get traded. Maybe John Collins actually goes somewhere. And then speaking on John Collins, just places I think he a fit. And I know I said I was about to start talking about the Cavs, and I understand. But just thinking on John Collins and places he a fit, maybe he fit in Orlando, Monte. Maybe he fit in Orlando, right? You know what I'm saying? They was playing Franz at the 2. I don't like Franz being at the 2, but I don't knock it. And then they could move Banchero to the 3. You get John Collins over there playing the 4, or Wendell at the 5. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they make the trade and they trade for Trae Young and Collins and put those two around Wagner and Banchero. You know what I'm saying? They give up a bunch of picks. Like it's so crazy how many different things can happen. But this is where I give credit to Kobe Altman, the president of basketball operations for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers only have one pick in this draft. They have the 49th pick. All right. This is a team that has Darius Garland entering the first year of his new contract. Donovan Mitchell, who they acquired last year for about 3 players and like 5 draft picks. Evan Mobley, a top 3 pick from a couple years ago, who may evolve into one of the best players in the league at some point. And Jared Allen, a big man, athletic, defensive, rebounding guy, right? So now, the Cavs have dilemmas because Garland and Mitchell make like $40 million a year already, right? Allen make $20 million a year. The salary cap is it's projected to be around $136 million, right? So if Garland's making 40, and now mind you, Garland's contract is like 5 years, 230. But I really think only 190 of it is guaranteed. Everything else is in incentives, right? And that's one of those football type contracts I was talking about. That puts you on the mind of like a Kyler Murray type of contract or a Russell Wilson type of contract. But anyway, you got um, Donovan Mitchell's who got, I think his contract for like 190. It may be for 200 though. But his is fully guaranteed. And then eventually you're gonna have to pay Mobley. Isaac Okoro is coming to last year his contract. Jarrett Allen is moving into year 3 of his new contract. If I'm mistaken. Oh, it's 8. So the NBA draft is tipping off. If you got your ESPN, you know what I'm saying, the NBA draft is tipping off. I'm pretty sure they about to say Victor Wembanyama and got picked. You know, Spurs are on the clock, so we're gonna see how that play out with 4 minutes left on the clock, which it ain't no secret. I don't know why they gonna take that long. But the Cavs are in an interesting position. Now, what I personally feel like the Cavs need to do is just build on the bench. I feel like I like they starting 5 as is. That's what Okoro playing the 3. I know a lot of people hate that, whatever the case. But for how this is shaking out, I think that's perfect for them right now. These young guys still gonna grow. They still growing into their bodies. You got Karis LeVert coming off the bench. Now they still have to re-sign Karis because that hasn't happened yet. I'm saying I would give Karis LeVert a 3-year deal because Donovan Mitchell has 2 years left on his deal. And if I have to move on from Mitchell in any capacity in that process, I would want to have some type of guy that could step in and get this money on the buckets. So I would give Karis like a 3-year, 51, $54 million deal. Game like 17 to 18 a year. If I'm gonna do it that short. If I go long term and do a 5-year deal, then that's coming down to like 16. And I'm trying to do like 5 for like 85, 5 for 90 type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 6, 30, 36. Let me see. 5 years. Yeah, 5. Yeah, there's 90. So yeah, I'm trying to do like, that, and that's cool, because that put him at like 17 a year. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually put him at like 16 a year. But that money stretched out like that give them a chance to put cats around him too on the bench side, right? But I would do 3 years with them though. I think it's smart for Karis LeVert, who's 28, I think about to turn 29 or 27, about to turn 28. 28 for sure. That doesn't lock him in and gives him a chance, you know what I'm saying? And by the time his contract come off, they'll be paid Mobley. They'll have a chance to re-sign Allen or whatnot or make a move with him. I think the future of this team should be built around Mobley, Garland, and Okoro. I don't care what nobody says. Those 3. Because ultimately, if you have to lose every piece you have, right? You could still have for long term Garland at the 1, Okoro at the 2, Evan Mobley at the 5. And you'll always be able to build around that. Because Okoro complements what Mobley does. I mean, what Garland does from a defensive standpoint. And he also helps on the perimeter for what Mobley does and will continue to grow and do as a shot blocker. So in my opinion, those are the 3 cornerstones. Now, I'm not saying Okoro deserves a max contract. I'm just saying, though, those would be my 3 cornerstones for right now. People say, oh, you got Donovan Mitchell, he a cornerstone. No, he's not. Right? He's not a cornerstone until he makes himself a cornerstone. Which means until Donovan Mitchell comes out and says, hey, I want to be in Cleveland long term. He's not a cornerstone. Right now, he's an upgrade over Sexton and marketing. Even though marketing played lights out this year, Donovan was still an upgrade over marketing. So, you know, the Cavs right now just need to focus on getting the bench better. With that 49th pick that they got, I would love to see them get Amani Bates. I'm not gonna hold you. I would love to see them get Amani Bates. But
I think Bates could be gone.
what I do, I'm saying if they got to package up, listen, I was just about to get into that too. Like, listen, if they could move Chetty and Rubio contracts, I'm with it. The only reason I'm not with them moving on from Allen contract just yet is because, for one, you would have to give me something that wows me, something that you just can't pass up to get Allen off the team right now. For the value of his contract, for his role, that's perfect, right? He's basically a little taller version of what Clint Capella giving you, more or less, right? Or a lankier version, I should say. But I gotta see what it looks like in year 2. I gotta see what they look like running it back with those twin towers and those 200-size guards. Now a 3 that legitimately could play that spot over a Coro, I feel you on. If we can get one, that'd be fire. But you really can't get one without giving up a piece. And kind of right now with the climate of the NBA and people having to just get off contracts, Kobe Altman could wiggle, taking a player and taking a mid-level exception, another one, or getting some type of extra exceptions to add to money that he can use to get players to go on that bench with care. All right. I'm really hoping Malik Beasley become a free agent. I would love see the Cavs get him. Christian Wood is a guy I would love to see the Cavs get. I wasn't a fan of the Kyle Kuzma train, but I'd like to see them get Kyle Kuzma, but not for $30 million a year. That's the same with Jeremy Grant. I'd be cool to see him come off the bench, come in and play that 3, or even if he started, I wouldn't be, but not for $30 million a year. I don't know, man. I do want to see the Cavs get Bates though. That's like, because I don't think they could get that far up in the first. I mean, who knows? Draft night, anything can happen. And Kobe Altman is a master. Victor Wembanyama has been selected. Just to give you an update, Victor has been selected by the San Antonio Spurs. He is now an official member of the NBA. 7'5", 220 pounds, 8-foot wingspan. We're going to see what you do, young man. Charlotte is now on the clock with like 3 minutes left. We're going to see what they're going to do. I ain't heard of no trades going on yet. Like I say, I ain't watching it. But the Cavs, like I say, man, I just need to see them upgrade the bench. Maybe they got Diakite down there. Maybe they developed Diakite.
We already knew that, though.
Huh?
I said Victor went first. We already knew that was going to happen, though.
Already.
It's on ESPN Plus too.
Yeah, no, I ain't reactivated that yet. I was thinking about sitting here doing it at the time, but the strong phone I'm streaming from is with the phone I would have had to did it from, and that was just been one of the process. So, but I'll catch it later on. I ain't really tripping. The Nuggets to get first round pick from the Pacers. What is this? Is this that trade they did earlier? Yeah. They just traded back a couple picks. Oh, hold on. Don't do that. Yeah. So we gonna see. I think Brandon Miller going too, though. That's my pick. If I'm putting my money on it, I'm going Brandon Miller. But yeah, it's about to get interesting, y'all. I want to see these Cavs do something. I don't really know what they're gonna do. I mean, it's a world of possibilities out here. You never know. But I do feel like the cornerstone of this team should be Garland, Mobley in the courtroom. And then you just start from there. You know what I'm saying? The Cavs still in that position where they still got nice little assets, even though they ain't got no real heavy valuable draft picks. They still got nice assets and they can turn into a lot of picks. And it's just about JB, man. JB got to figure out what his playing style is. What's your coaching style? What y'all doing? How y'all operating? Um, I feel like he should be more up tempo. You should play up tempo for 3 quarters and then slow it down in the fourth. Slow it down at the end of the third, going to the fourth in the winning time. But for the first 3 quarters, play up and down. Come down, get good shots. You know what I'm saying? That should be the whole. First thing should be at the hole. Get to the hole, get an open shot, whether that be a 2-point shot or a 3-point shot, or create for somebody to get an easy bucket. And then when you come down at the end of the third, going to the fourth, slow it down and run that. You know what I'm saying? That classic. You know what I'm saying? Control the pace, high defensive that you got in your repertoire. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be able to outscore cats in this league, for sure. They say the pick is in. It ain't popped up on me yet, so I don't know who got picked yet. Charlotte definitely turned in a pick. It could be Scoop, but I already think it's Brandon Miller. I just think that's a no-brainer. But yeah, man, them Cavs, I'm excited to see what they do. Free agency gonna hit. It's gonna start up July 1st, which is next week. Um, so you know, teams gonna have like 10 days um, to really get, or it's like 7 to 8 days, like 9 days. No, actually, free agency might start on the third because I think the third is a Monday. No, wait, yeah, the third is a Monday, so it might start on the third actually. So yeah, they got about 10 days to make their moves and see what they gonna do and make their calls and all that before the new NBA season start. But it's about to get real, man. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man, streaming from multiple media platforms. Make sure y'all follow Industry Sports on all the platforms. Follow DeeTrynt on all the platforms. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. If you missed the live streaming, you can definitely catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming podcasts and platforms. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll be back soon, maybe even tomorrow. Do a recap or something, see how the draft went, what cats did, what type of crazy trades that went down, and just pick up from there, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Be cool, be safe, stay dangerous, get your money. You know what I'm saying? One, I'll holler at y'all in a second.